Can you come in? Samsaradava nalanidaloka karunya ghana ghanatvam Praptasya kalyana gunanavasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita Vaditan Madhyan Manasura Sena Romanchakam Pasutaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda Shri Vigraharadhana Nityanana Shingaratan Mandira Majanado Yuktasya bhaktam saniyunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavat Prasada Swadhana Tiptan Hari Bhakta Sangha Kritaiva Tiptim Bhajata Sadeva Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda Shri Radhika Madhavayorapara Madhurya Leela Gunarupa Namna भक्तिशनासादनलोलुपास्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम् निकुञ्जयुनो रतिकेलिसिद्धै यायालिभिर्युक्तिरपेक्षणीया तत्रातिधाक्ष्या ततिबलवस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम् साक्षादरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रे युक्तस्तथा वायत एव साध्वी किन्तु प्रभोर्या प्रिया एव तस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम् यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादात् न गति कुतोऽपि ध्यायन्तु वंस्तस्य यशस्ति सन्ध्यान् वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम् नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
नमामीश्वरं सच्चिद आनन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् यशोदा वियुलुखलाधवमानम् परामस्तम अत्यंतो धृत्य गोप्या रुदंत मुहुः नेत्र युग्मं रजन्तं करं भोजं युग्मेन सतन्त नेत्रम् मुहुश्वासकं पात्रिरेकान्तकान्ता स्थिता ग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिबाधम् इति दीक्षा लीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तमाख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषिताजेषु भक्तजितात्वम् पुनः प्रेमतस्तं सतावृत्ति वन्दे वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षवधिं वा न चान्यं वनेहं वरे सदपिहा इदं ते वपुर्नाथ गोपाल बाल सदा मे मनस्य विरस्तं किमने इदं ते मुखाम्भोजम् अत्यन्तनीले वृतं कुण्टालय स्निग्धरतैश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरथधरा मे मनस्य विरस्तमालं लक्ष्यलाभे नमो देव दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसिद्ध प्रभु दुख जलाभिमग्न कृपा दृष्टि विस्याति दिनं बतानु ग्रहाणे क्षमामार्णमिध्यक्ष दिश्या कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमूर्त्यैव यद्वत् त्वया मोचितौ भक्ति भाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकाम्य प्रयाच्छ न मोक्ष ग्रहो मे स्थित दामोदरेह नमस्ते धाम्ने स्फुरदीप्ति धाम्ने त्वदीयधरायाथा विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयप्रियायै नमो नान्तलीलाय देवय तुभ्यम् हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे हरे दामोदर राधे जय यशोदा मैया जय यशोदा मैया जय यशोदा मैया जय यशोदा मैया जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम जय वृंदावन धाम लीला माधव राधे। जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान, जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। जय लक्ष्मी नारायण सिंह, जय लक्ष्मी नारायण सिंह, जय लक्ष्मी नारायण सिंह, जय लक्ष्मी नारायण सिंह। निताय गौरांगा निताय गौरांगा, निताय 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 गौरांगा। जय सच्चिनंदन जय सच्चिनंदन, जय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरे। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव गुरुदेव, जय जय गुरुदेव।
Jai Om Shnupad Brahmamsa Patakacharya Ashtota Shata Shishmatis Divine Grace Aparchana Rinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBT Bhaktivedanta Institute Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Shnupad Brahmamsa Patakacharya Ashtota Shata Shishmatis Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridasa Ki Jai. Premise Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vardhabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Navadvipa Marpa Dham Ki Jai. Purushottama Chaitya Jagnapuri Dham Ki Jai. Shri Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Samavrita Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Srila Murari Gupta Disappearance Day Ki Jai. Shri Radha Damodar Ki Jai. Shri Damodar Rastakam Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Saradiya Rasayatra Mahosava Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glory to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Lad lad daine. हिरण्यकाशी पूर्वसहाय शिला टंका न खालाए ये तो नरसिंहा पर तो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा बाहिर नरसिंहा हृदय नरसिंहा नरसिंहमुदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव कर कमल वरे नकाम अद्भुत श्रृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा केशवधीरता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे नरहरि रूपा हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंह देव जय नरसिंह देव नरसिंह देव जय नरसिंह देव जय भक्त प्रहलाद जय भक्त प्रहलाद भक्त प्रहलाद जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय गुरुदेव 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 बोल नरसिंह भगवान की जय भक्त प्रहलाद की जय
Translation. First, to the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge, and bliss, whose sharp-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula, who I, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter, and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with greater speed to that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodara, I offer my humble obeisances. With a stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord Sri Damodara, whose belly is bound not with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokula, in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who are only absorbed in knowledge of His supreme majesty and opulence that He is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodara hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bal Gopal in Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart, for what is the use to me of any other boon besides this? O Lord, your lotus feet, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair, tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me. Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you, O Damodara, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord. Ye please upon me, by showering your glance of mercy upon me, deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows, and become visible to my eyes. O Lord Damodara, just as the 2 sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalkuvera, were delivered from the curse of Narada and into great devotees by you, in your form as a baby tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar, in the same way please give it to me your own prema bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. O Lord Damodara, I first of all offer to the brilliantly effulgent robe which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani and offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord who displays unlimited past. Shri Damodara Ashtakam ki jai.
Vrindaya Tulasudevaya Piyaya Keshavascha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavadhyaya Namo Namaha. Vrindaya Tulasudevaya Piyaya Vrindaya Tulasudevaya Piyaya Keshavascha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavadhyaya Namo Namaha. Vrindaya Tulasi Devaya Piyaya Keshavascha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavadhyaya Namo Namaha. Vrinda Devi Tulasi Marani Ki Jai.
Namo Namah Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namah Radha Krishna Seva Pavo Yai Abhilasi Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namah ये तुम्हारा शरण लो तारा वंश पूर्ण हो ये तुम्हारा शरण लो પૂર્ણ હોય. કૃપા કરી કરો તારે વૃંદાવનવાસી. તુલસી કૃષ્ણ પ્રેયસી નમો નમઃ. મોરા અભિલાષ વિલાસ કુંજ દિયો વાસ. મોરા અભિલાષ વિલાસ કુંજ દિયો વાસ. નયન હરિબો સદા જુગલ રૂપ રાસી. તુલસી કૃષ્ણ પ્રેયસી નમો નમઃ. એ નિવેદનાદારો સાખીરાનું ગાતા કરો. એ નિવેદનાદારો સાખીરાનું ગાતા કરો. સેવાયાધિકારાદિએ કરો નિજ દાસી. તુલસી કૃષ્ણ પ્રેયસી નમો નમઃ. दीन कृष्ण दासे को ये न मोरा हो. दीन कृष्ण दासे को ये न मोरा हो. श्री राधा गोविंदा प्रेमे सदाय नभासी. श्री राधा गोविंदा प्रेमे सदाय नभासी. तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः. यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्मत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्मत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्मत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्मत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्मत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्मत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Vrinda Devi, Jayo Vrinda Devi, Jayo Vrinda Devi, Jayo Vrinda Devi. Jayo Vrinda Devi, Jayo Vrinda Devi, Jayo Vrinda Devi, Jayo Vrinda Devi. Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani. Nita Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nita Gaura Hari Bol. Nita Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nita Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol.
Vrindaya Tulasi Devai Piyaya Keshavascha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavadaya Namo Namaha. Vrindaya Tulasi Devai Piyaya Keshavascha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavadaya Namo Namaha. Vrindaya Tulasi Devai Piyaya Keshavascha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavadaya Namo Namaha. Vrinda Devi Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Oh Tulasi, beloved of Krishna, I bow down before you again and again. My desire is in the service of Shri Radha and Krishna. Whoever takes shelter of you has wishes fulfilled. Bestow mercy upon him and make him a resident of Vrindavana. My desire also grant me residence in the precious groves of Shri Vrindavana Dham. Thus within my vision I shall behold the beautiful paths of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me follow Karo Danso's Virgin. Please give me the privilege devotional service and make my own maidservant. This very fallen lowly servant of Krishna prays. May I always swim in the love Shri Radha and Govinda. Srimati Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. There are 10 fences in the matter of chanting holy names which be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider name the demigods of Lord Shiva or Brahma to be equal to independent name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the order of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature pursuant the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glory of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities and strength of chanting holy name. 8. To consider chanting Hare Krishna one of the auspiciously choose activities, offering the Vedas fruit activities, karma, ganda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glory of the holy name. 10. To not complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachments in understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve desired success, Krishna, Prema. Now let us offer most obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just as I trees who can fulfill to everyone. They are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Jeto Darpana Marjanam Pava Mahadavakni Nirvapanam Shriya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavatu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamita Sadanam Sarvatamasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadeshi Tava Kripa Bhagavam Mamapi Durudevami Desham Yaha Janina Nurakaha Trinatapi Sunicena Tarorapi Saishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sata Harihi Na Thanam Na Chanam Na Sundarim Kavitam Vajagadisha Kamaye Mama Jammani Jammanishvare Bhavata Bhaktir Haituki Tavai Ayinanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Puto Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sthita Duri Satesham Vichintaya Nayanam Garadashuru Daraya Vadanam Katkata Rudaya Gira Pulakai Nichitam Vapurkada Tava Nama Karhane Bhavishati Yuga itam nimishena chakshusha pravisha itam shunya itam jagat sarvam govinda virahe name ashrisava padaratam pinnastumam adarshanam marmhatam karotuva yatha tatha va vitathatu lampato matprananathastu saeva naparaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which increases the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes fire of conditional life or repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is prime benediction for humanity in the large, because it spreads the reason and benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean transcendent bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone grants all benediction to human beings. Thus you have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you have vested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out kindness enables us to easily approach you by holy names. But I'm so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. One should chant holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking himself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more taller than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to desire beautiful women, nor do I want any noble followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth of birth. O Sanhamarjananda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow I fall into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from the ocean of death and place me at one of the items your lotus feet. O my Lord, one way my eyes do spectacular tears of love flowing constant when I chant your holy name. One my voice choke up, one the hairs of my body stand at the end, or recitation of your name. O Govinda, feeling of separation, I'm considering the moment to be like a great millennium. Tears are flowing from eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything, everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Shri Mangala Charanam prayers ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshum Litam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragnatam Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Bhajadesha Darine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshapani Devi Daitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhavin Namaha Madhuryo Chala Premadya Shri Rupa Nuga Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karana Shakti Vigrahaya Namostate Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinadarine Rupanuga Virudapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipalambara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Svarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virpava Bhumistvam Nirdishta Sajana Priyaha Vaishnava Savabhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarupishcha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Svarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Srato Pangor Mamamanda Materkati Masarvasva Padam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Vindadanya Kalpadurmadaha Shimadra Nakara Singhasanasto Shrimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prishtari Bi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasa Rasarambi Vamsi Vata Tatastitaha Karasham Vinu Stanera Gopir Gopinatha Shriyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Dadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Mangala Charanam prayers ki jai. Shri Brahmasamhita ki jai. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadya Radha Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Parakara Satmasukha Praviksha Raksha Viteshu Surabhi Rabi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasam Brahmasevyamanam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Kavanantam Aravinda Dalayataksham Parharvatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Gandharpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chantakala Savanamada Vamshi Ranangadam Panayakeli Kalavilasam Shamam Tripanga Laditam Yata Prakasham Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani yasya sakalindirya vritimanti pashanti panti karayanti chiram jaganti Ananda chimma satujula vigrahasya govindam adi purusham tamaham pachami Advaitam achotam anadim anantarupam adyam purana purusham nambayovanam cha Vedeshu durlabam adurlabam atma bhakto govindam adi purusham tamaham pachami Pantastu koti shatavassara sampragamyo vayuratapi manaso muni pangavanam Sopiyasti yappapada simya vichinta tatve govindam adi purusham tamaham pachami Ekopya sardachayitum jagatanta kotim ya chakti rasti jagatanta chayaya tantaha antantarastha paramanu chayantarastham govindam adi purusham tamaham pachami Yad bhava bhavitadiyo manuchastateva samprapya rupa mahimasana yana pushaha suktayam eva nikama patitai stuvanti govindam adi purusham tamaham pachami Ananta chimmerasa patibhavitapi stapi evancha rupataya kalapihi Goloka eva nivasati kilatma buddho govindam adi purusham tamaham pachami Premanjana churutha bhakti vilochanena santa sateva hitayeshu vilokayanti yam shama sundam achintya guna swarupam govindam adi purusham tamaham pachami Ramadi murtishu kalanyamena tishtan nanavataram akaro puvaneshu kintu Krishna swayam samabhava paramapumam yo govindam adi purusham tamaham pachami Krishna, who is not Govinda, is the supreme Godhead. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin and is the prime cause of all causes.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire, in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute, with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers beautified with the moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with the flute and jeweled ornaments, who always reveals in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending form as Shyamasundara is eternally manifest.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of that transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs, and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but obtainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, who is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning, and the eternal Purusha. Yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis, who aspire after the transcendental and take themselves to pranayam by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane, extending over thousands of millions of years.
He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe, at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore.
I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men who are imbued with devotion sing the mantra suttas told by the Vedas by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveyances, and ornaments.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities, in the company of her confidants, Sakhis, embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shyamsundara, Krishna himself with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their hearts of heart with the eye of devotion, tinged with the salve of love.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna, and then the different avatars in the world in the forms of Rama, Narsimha, Vamana, etc., as his subjective portions.
Bhagavad Gita 7.1 purport. Shrinvatam swakata Krishna punya sravana kirtanaha hridayanta histo hi abhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam nasta prayeshva abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki arajastamo bhava kama lobha dayaschaye तैतैरनहवीदं स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति एवं प्रसन्नमनसो भगवद्भक्तियोगतः भगवत्तत्त्वविज्ञानं मुक्तसङ्गस्य जायते विद्यते हृदयग्रन्थिश्छिद्यन्ते सर्वसमस्याः क्षीयन्ते च कर्माणि दृष्टा एवात्मनीश्वरे.
To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him.
In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotion service of the Lord.
By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lust and avarice are diminished.
When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the signs of God perfectly.
Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of Ashamshayam Samagram, understanding of the supreme absolute truth personality of Godhead. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the science of Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we are reading Bhagavad Gita from last 2 to 3 months, and we are in we have completed till now 18.72. We'll start with 18.73 and we'll complete this today. And we shall start Bhagavatam. Canto 1 introduction will start after completion of Bhagavad Gita. 18.73 Arjuna Uvacha Nastamoha Smritirlabdha Tvatprasadanmayachute Chuta Stitosmi Gata Sandeha Karishye Vachanam Tava. Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna said, Nasta, dispelled, Moha, illusion, Smritihi, memory, Labdha, regained, Tvat Prasadat, by your mercy, Maya, by me, Achyuta, O infallible Krishna, Sita, situated, Asmi, I am, Gata, removed, Sandeha, all doubts, Karishye, I shall execute, Vachanam, order, Tava, your. Arjuna said, translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and I am prepared to act according to your instructions. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The constitutional position of a living entity represented by Arjuna is that he has to act according to the order of the Supreme Lord. He is meant for self-discipline. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the actual position of the living entity is that of eternal servant of the Supreme Lord. Forgetting this principle, the living entity becomes conditioned by material nature. But in serving the Supreme Lord, he becomes the liberated servant of God. The living entity's constitutional position is to be servitor. He has to serve either the illusory Maya or the Supreme Lord. If he serves the Supreme Lord, he is in his control, normal condition. But if he prefers to serve the illusory and external energy, then certainly he will be in bondage. In illusion, the living entity is serving in this material world. He is bound by his lust and desires, yet he thinks of himself as the master of the world. This is called illusion. When a person is liberated, his illusion is over and he voluntarily surrenders unto the Supreme to act according to his desires. The last illusion, the last snare of Maya to trap the living entity is the proposition that he is God. The living entity thinks that he is no longer a conditioned soul but God. He is so unintelligent that he does not think that if he were God, then how would he be in doubt? That he does not consider. So, that is the last snare of illusion. Actually, to become free from the illusory energy is to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and agree to act according to his order. The word moha is very important in this verse. Moha refers to that which is opposed to knowledge. Actually, real knowledge is the understanding that every living being is eternally a servitor of the Lord. But instead of thinking oneself in that position, the living entity thinks that he is not a servant, that he is the master of this material world, for he wants to lord it over the material nature. That is his illusion. This illusion can be overcome by the mercy of Lord or by the mercy of a pure devotee. When that illusion is over, one agrees to act in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is acting according to Krishna's order. A conditioned soul, illusioned by the external energy of matter, does not know that the Supreme Lord is the Master who is full of knowledge and who is the proprietor of everything. Whatever he desires, he can bestow upon his devotees. He is the friend of everyone and he is especially inclined to his devotee. He is the controller of this material nature and of all living entities. He is also the controller of inexhaustible time and he is full of all opulences and all potencies. The Supreme Personality of Godhead can even give himself to the devotee. One who does not know him is under the spell of illusion. He does not become a devotee but a servitor of Maya. Arjuna, however, after hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, became free from all illusion. He could understand that Krishna was not only his friend but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he understood Krishna factually. So, to study Bhagavad Gita is to understand Krishna factually. When a person is in full knowledge, he naturally surrenders to Krishna. When Arjuna understood that it was Krishna's plan to reduce the unnecessary increase of population, he agreed to fight according to Krishna's desire. He again took up his weapons, his arrows and bow, to fight under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Sanjaya Uvacha iti aham vasudevasya patasya cha mahatmanaha sammadam ashram aptam romaharshanam. Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya said, iti, thus, aham, I, Vasudevaya, of Krishna, Parthayasya and Arjuna, Cha also, Mahatmana of the great soul, Samvadam discussion, Imam this Ashrausam have heard, Adbhutam wonderful, Romaharshanam making the hair stand on end. Sanjaya said, thus have I heard the conversation of the two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna. And so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on end.
Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Dhritarashtra inquired from his secretary Sanjaya what happened on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The entire study was related to the heart of Sanjaya by the grace of his spiritual master Vyasa. He thus explained the theme of the battlefield. The conversation was wonderful because such an important conversation between two great souls has never taken place before and would not take place again. It was wonderful because the Supreme Personality of Godhead was speaking about himself and his energies to the living entity. Arjuna, a great devotee of the Lord. If we follow in the footsteps of Arjuna to understand Krishna, then our life will be happy and successful. Sanjaya realized this, and as he began to understand it, he related the conversation to Dhritarashtra. Now, it is concluded that wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, there is victory.
व्यासप्रसादक श्रुतवान् एतद् गुह्यम् अहं परं योगं योगेश्वरात् कृष्णात् साक्षात् कथयत स्वयं Vyasaprasadat, by the mercy of Vyasadeva. Shrutavan, have heard, Etat, this, Guhyam, confidential, Aham, I, Param, the Supreme, Yoga, mysticism, Yoga Ishwarat, from the master of all mysticism, Krishnat, from Krishna, Sakshat, directly, Katayata, speaking, Swayam, personally. Translation. By the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna. Purport. Vyasa was the spiritual master of Sanjaya, and Sanjaya admits that it was by Vyasa's mercy that he could understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This means that one has to understand Krishna not directly, but through the medium of the spiritual master. The spiritual master is the transparent medium. Although it is true that the experience is still direct, this is the mystery of the disciplic succession. When the spiritual master is bona fide, then one can hear Bhagavad Gita directly, as Arjuna heard it. There are many mystics and yogis all over the world, but Krishna is the master of all yoga systems. Krishna's instruction is explicitly stated in Bhagavad Gita. Surrender unto Krishna. One who does so is the topmost yogi. This is confirmed in the last verse of the 6th chapter. Yoginam api sarvesham. Narada is the direct disciple of Krishna and the spiritual master of Vyasa. Therefore, Vyasa is as bona fide as Arjuna because he comes in the disciplic succession. And Sanjaya is the direct disciple of Vyasa. Therefore, by the grace of Vyasa, Sanjaya's senses were purified, and he could see and hear Krishna directly. One who directly hears Krishna can understand this confidential knowledge. If one does not come to the disciplic succession, he cannot hear Krishna. Therefore, his knowledge is always imperfect, at least as far as understanding Bhagavad Gita is concerned. In Bhagavad Gita, all the yoga systems, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga are explained. Krishna is the master of all such mysticism. It is to be understood, however, that as Arjuna was fortunate enough to understand Krishna directly, so by the grace of Vyasa, Sanjaya was also able to hear Krishna directly. Actually, there is no difference between hearing directly from Krishna and hearing directly from Krishna via a bona fide spiritual master like Vyasa. The spiritual master is the representative of Vyasa Deva too also. Therefore, according to the Vedic system, on the birthday of the spiritual master, the disciples conduct the ceremony called Vyasa Puja.
Rajan samsmritya samvadam imam adbudam keshavarjunayoha punyam rishyami cha muhur muhur. Rajan, O king, samsmritya, remembering, samvadam, message, imam, this, adbudam, wonderful, Keshava, of Lord Krishna, Arjunayo, and Arjuna, punyam, pious, rishyami, I am taking pleasure, cha, also, muhu muhu, repeatedly. Translation. O king, as I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure, being thrilled at every moment. Purport. The understanding of Bhagavad Gita is so transcendental that anyone who becomes conversant with the topics of Krishna and Arjuna become righteous, and he cannot forget such talks. This is the transcendental position of spiritual life. In other words, one who hears the Gita from the right source directly from Krishna attains full Krishna consciousness. The result of Krishna consciousness is that one becomes increasingly enlightened, and he enjoys life with a thrill, not only for some time but at every moment.
Takcha samsritya ruvam adi adbudam hare vismayo me mahan rajan hirshyami cha puna puna. That cha also samsritya remembering rupam form adi greatly adbudam wonderful hare of Lord Krishna vismaya wonder me my mahan great rajan O king hirshyami I am enjoying cha also puna puna repeatedly. O king, as I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again. It appears that Sanjaya also, by grace of Vyasa, could see the universal form Krishna exhibited to Arjuna. It is, of course, said that Lord Krishna had never exhibited such a form before. It was exhibited to Arjuna only, yet some great devotees could also see the universal form of Krishna when it was shown to Arjuna, and Vyasa was one of them. He is one of the greatest devotees of Lord, and he is considered to be a powerful incarnation of Krishna. Vyasa disclosed this to his disciple Sanjaya, who remembered that wonderful form of Krishna exhibited to Arjuna and enjoyed it repeatedly.
Text 78. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatta Sri Vijayo Bhuti, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Yatra, where? Yoga Ishvara, the master of the mysticism. Krishna, Lord Krishna. Yatra, where? Partha, the son of Purta. Dhanuddharaha, the carrier of the bow and arrow. Tatra, there. Shri, opulence. Vijaya, victory. Bhuti, exceptional power. Dhruva, certain. Niti, morality. Mati Mama, my opinion. Translation. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Bhagavad Gita began with an inquiry of Dhritarashtra's. He was hopeful of the victory of his sons, assisted by great warriors like Bhishma, Drona, and Karna. He was hopeful that the victory would be on his side. But after describing the scene on the battlefield, Sanjaya told the king, "You are thinking of victory. But my opinion is that where Krishna and Arjuna are present, there will be all good fortune." He directly confirmed that Dhritarashtra could not expect victory for his side. Victory was certain for the side of Arjuna because Krishna was there. Krishna's acceptance of the post of charioteer for Arjuna was an exhibition of another opulence. Krishna is full of all opulences, and renunciation is one of them. There are many instances of such renunciation, for Krishna is also the master of renunciation.
The fight was actually between Duryodhana and Yudhishthira. Arjuna was fighting on behalf of his elder brother Yudhishthira. Because Krishna and Arjuna were on the side of Yudhishthira, Yudhishthira's victory was certain. The battle was to decide who would rule the world, and Sanjaya predicted that the power would be transferred to Yudhishthira. It is also predicted here that Yudhishthira, after gaining victory in this battle, would flourish more and more, because not only was he righteous and pious, but he was also a strict moralist. He never speak a lie during his life.
There are many less intelligent persons who take Bhagavad Gita to be a discussion of topics between two friends on a battlefield. But such a book cannot be scripture. Some may protest that Krishna incited Arjuna to fight, which is immoral, but the reality of the situation is clearly stated. Bhagavad Gita is the supreme instruction in morality. The supreme instruction in morality is stated in the 9th chapter, in the 34th verse, Man mana bhava mad bhakta. One must become a devotee of Krishna, and the essence of all religion is to surrender unto Krishna. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. The instructions of Bhagavad Gita constitute the supreme process of religion and morality. All other processes may be purifying and may lead to this process, but the last instruction of the Gita is the last word in all morality and religion. Surrender unto Krishna. This is the verdict of the 18th chapter.
From Bhagavad Gita, we can understand that to realize oneself by philosophical speculation and by meditation is one process, but to fully surrender unto Krishna is the highest perfection. This is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. The path of regulative principles according to the orders of social life and according to the different courses of religion may be a confidential path of knowledge. But although the rituals of religion are confidential, meditation and cultivation of knowledge are still more confidential. And surrender unto Krishna in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness is the most confidential instruction. That is the essence of the 18th chapter.
Another feature of Bhagavad Gita is that the actual truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. The absolute truth is realized in three features: impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and ultimately the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Perfect knowledge of the absolute truth means perfect knowledge of Krishna. If one understands Krishna, then all the departments of knowledge are part and parcel of that understanding. Krishna is transcendental, for he is always situated in his eternal internal potency. The living entities are manifested of his energy and are divided into two classes, eternally conditioned and eternally liberated. Such living entities are innumerable, and they are considered fundamental parts of Krishna. Material energy is manifested into 24 divisions. The creation is affected by eternal time, and it is created and dissolved by external energy. This manifestation of the cosmic world repeatedly becomes visible and invisible.
In the Bhagavad Gita, 5 principal subject matters have been discussed: the Supreme Personality of Godhead, material nature, the living entities, eternal time, and all kinds of activities. All is dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. All conceptions of the Absolute Truth, impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and any other transcendental conception exists within the category of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although superficially the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the living entities, material nature, and time appear to be different, nothing is different from the Supreme. But the Supreme is always different from everything. Lord Chaitanya's philosophy is that of inconceivable oneness and difference. This system of philosophy constitutes perfect knowledge of the Absolute Truth.
The living entity is in his original position is pure spirit. He is just like an automatic particle of the Supreme Spirit. Thus, Lord Krishna may be compared to the sun and the living entities to sunshine. Because the living entities are the marginal energy of Krishna, they have a tendency to be in contact either with the material energy or with the spiritual energy. In other words, the living entity is situated between the two energies of the Lord, and because he belongs to the superior energy of the Lord, he is a particle of independence. By proper use of that independence, he comes under the direct order of Krishna. Thus, he attains his normal condition in the pleasure-giving potency. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports to the 18th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of its conclusion, the perfection of renunciation.
We completed Bhagavad Gita. We'll start Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Creation Introduction. Introduction. The conception of God and the conception of absolute truth are not on the same level. The Srimad Bhagavatam hits on the target of the absolute truth. The conception of God indicates the controller, whereas the conception of the absolute truth indicates a summum bonum, or the ultimate source of all energies. There is no difference of opinion about the personal feature of God as a controller, because a controller cannot be impersonal. Of course, modern government, especially democratic government, is impersonal to some extent, but ultimately the chief executive head is a person, and the impersonal feature of government is subordinate to the personal feature. So without a doubt, whenever we refer to control over others, we must admit the existence of a personal feature, because there are different controllers for different managerial positions. There may be many small gods. According to the Bhagavad Gita, any controller who has some specific extraordinary power is called a Vibhutimat Sattva, or controller empowered by the Lord. There are many Vibhutimat Sattvas, controllers of God or gods with various specific powers. But the absolute truth is one without a second. This Srimad Bhagavatam designates the absolute truth or the Summum Bonum as the Parasatyam.
The author of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Vasudeva, first offers his respectful obeisances unto the Param Satyam, absolute truth. And because the Param Satyam is the ultimate source of all energies, the Param Satyam is the supreme person. The gods or the controllers are undoubtedly persons, but the Param Satyam, from whom the gods derive powers of control, is a supreme person. The Sanskrit word Ishvara, controller, conveys the import of God, but the supreme person is called the Parameshvara, or the supreme Ishvara. The supreme person or Parameshvara is a supreme conscious personality, And because he does not derive any power from any other source, he is supremely independent. In the Vedic literatures, Brahma is described as the supreme god, or the head of all other gods like Indra, Chandra, Varuna. But the Srimad Bhagavatam confirms that even Brahma is not independent as far as his power and knowledge are concerned. He received knowledge in the form of the Vedas from the Supreme Person who resides within the heart of every living being. That Supreme Personality knows everything directly and indirectly. Individual, infinitesimal persons who are parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead personality may know directly and indirectly everything about their bodies or external feature, but the Supreme Personality knows everything about both his external and internal features.
The words Janmadi Asya suggests that the source of all production, maintenance, or destruction is the same supreme conscious person. Even in our present experience, we can know that nothing is generated from inert matter, but inert matter can be generated from the living entity. For instance, by contact with the living entity, the material body develops into a working machine. Men with a poor fund of knowledge mistake the bodily machinery to be the living being. But the fact is that the living being is the basis of the bodily machine. The bodily machine is useless as soon as the living spark is away from it. Similarly, the original source of all material energy is the Supreme Person. This fact is expressed in all the Vedic literatures, and all the exponents of spiritual science have accepted this truth. The living force is called Brahman, and one of the greatest acharyas, teachers, namely Sripada Shankaracharya, has preached that Brahman is substance, whereas the cosmic world is category. The original source of all energies is the living force, and he is logically accepted as the Supreme Person. He is therefore conscious of everything past, present, and future, and also of each and every corner of his manifestations, both material and spiritual. An imperfect living being does not even know what is happening within his own personal body. He eats his food, but he does not know how this food is transformed into energy or how it sustains his body. When a living being is perfect, he is aware of everything that happens, and since the Supreme Person is all perfect, it is quite natural that he knows everything in all detail. Consequently, the perfect personality is addressed in the Srimad Bhagavatam as Vasudeva, or one who lives everywhere in full consciousness and in full possession of his complete energy. All of this is clearly explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the reader has ample opportunity to study this critically.
In the modern age, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached the Srimad Bhagavatam by practical demonstration. It is easier to penetrate into the topics of the Srimad Bhagavatam through the medium of Sri Chaitanya's causeless mercy. Therefore, a short stretch of his life and precepts is inserted herein to help the reader understand the real merit of Srimad Bhagavatam.
It is imperative that one learn the Srimad Bhagavatam from the person Bhagavatam. The person Bhagavatam is one whose very life is Srimad Bhagavatam in practice. Since Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the absolute personality of Godhead, he is both Bhagavan and Bhagavatam in person and in sound. Therefore, his process of approaching the Srimad Bhagavatam is practical for all people of the world. It was his wish that the Srimad Bhagavatam be preached in every nook and corner of the world by those who happen to take their birth in India.
Srimad Bhagavatam is the science of Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead, of whom we have preliminary information from the text of the Bhagavad Gita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said that anyone, regardless of what he is, who is well versed in the science of Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, can become an authorized preacher or preceptor in the science of Krishna.
There is a need for the science of Krishna in human society for the good of all suffering humanity of the world. And we simply request the leaders of all nations to pick up the science of Krishna for their own good and for the good of society and for the good of all world's people.
A short sketch of the life and teachings of Lord Chaitanya, preacher of Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the great apostle of love of God and the father of the congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord, adventured himself as Sridhama Mayapur, a quarter in the city of Navadvip in Bengal. On the Falguni Purnima evening in the year 1407, Sakabda, corresponding to February 1486 by the Christian calendar.
His father, Sri Jagannatha Mishra, a learned Brahmana from the district of Sylhet, came to Navadvipa as a student because at that time Navadvipa was considered to be the center of education and culture. He domiciled on the banks of the Ganges after marrying Srimati Sachi Devi, a daughter of Srila Neelambara Chakravarti, the great learned scholar of Navadvipa.
Jagannatha Mishra had a number of daughters by his wife, Srimati Sachi Devi, two surviving sons, and most of them expired at an early age. Two surviving sons, Sri Vishvarupa and Vishvambara, became at last the object of their parental affection. The 10th and youngest son, who was named Vishvambara, later became known as Nimai Pandit, and then after accepting the renounced order of life, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited his transcendental activities for 48 years and then disappeared from this mortal world in the year 1455, Skabda at Puri. For his first 24 years, he remained in Navadvip as a student and householder. His first wife was Srimati Lakshmapriya, who died in an early age when the Lord was away from home. When he returned from East Bengal, he was requested by his mother to accept a second wife, and he agreed. His second wife was Srimati Vishnupriya Devi, who bore the separation of the Lord throughout her life, because the Lord took the order of sannyas at the age of 24, when Srimati Vishnupriya was barely 16 years old.
After taking sannyasa, the Lord made his headquarters at Jagannathapuri due to the request of his mother, Srimati Sachi Devi. The Lord remained for 24 years at Puri. For 6 years of this time, he traveled continuously all over India and especially throughout southern India preaching the Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Chaitanya not only preached the Srimad Bhagavatam but propagated the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita as well in the most practical way. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna is depicted as the absolute personality of Godhead, and his last teachings in that book, great book of transcendental knowledge, instruct that one should give up all the modes of religious activities and accept him, Lord Sri Krishna, as the only worshipable Lord. The Lord then assured that all his devotees would be protected from all sorts of sinful acts, and that for them there would be no cause for anxiety.
Unfortunately, despite Lord Sri Krishna's direct order and the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, less intelligent people misunderstand him to be nothing but a great historical personality, and thus they cannot accept him as the original personality of Godhead. Such men with a poor fund of knowledge are misled by many non-devotees. Thus, the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita were misinterpreted even by great scholars. After the disappearance of Lord Sri Krishna, there were hundreds of commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita by many erudite scholars, and almost every one of them was motivated by self-interest. Lord Shri
Hare Krishna. Okay. Yeah, today we are stopping, so we'll continue tomorrow.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Bando mui savadana mate. Bando muy savadana mate. Jahara prasade bai, e baba toriya jai. Jahara prasade bai, e baba toriya jai. Krishna prapti hoy jaha hoy te. Krishna prapti hoy jaha hoy te. Krishna prapti hoy jaha hoy te. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitite Koriya Kya. padma vakya chitite koriya kya arana kori wo mane asha arana kori ho mane asha arana kori ho mane asha Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Utama Gati Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Utama Gati Shri Guru Charane Rati ऐसे उत्तमा गति जे प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा जे प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित प्रेमा भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते प्रेमा भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते वेद गाय जहाँ चरित श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदम जनार बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदम जनार बंधु लोके नाथ लोके राजीवाना हा हा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया हा हा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया एबे जास गोशुक त्रिभुवना श्रीला प्रभुपाद पतित पावना जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा 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 जय प्रभुपदा Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine
Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Nita Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nita Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Gaura Hari Bol. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is that my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. We take shelter of your lotus feet.